Hello and welcome back to my studio. How have you been? It's been snowing here, which is like super fun and makes me want to do absolutely nothing outside. So I wanted to make this video about some hobbies that I want to try in like a fun, non-committal way where I don't pressure myself to be super good at it or, make it into a career or like become my whole personality. I dive into two different hobbies of mine in this video, one new and one that I'm trying to get better at, and maybe in another video we'll try some more hobbies. So grab a snack, get something to drink, and let's get into it. I have always been intrigued by video games. I love the story aspect of them and love to watch other people play them. There are games I've heard about that I've been interested in and have always felt like I was on the outside looking in with this genre of media. I've often felt that the barrier to entry has been so high. You have to have a console, you have to buy the games, and then you have to be good at the games in order to enjoy them. Not to mention the fact that other players themselves can be quite gatekeepy about the medium as a whole. There's a lot of lingo and terminology that I didn't know, and I still don't. My reflexes are not great, and I have a really hard time moving my character and moving the camera at the same time. My partner is a huge video game person and has long wanted me to try them so that we can enjoy playing video games together. So when he dug out his circa 2014 PlayStation Vita, which I don't even know if they make anymore, and he was able to charge it, update it, and put a game into it, this seemed like the perfect opportunity to try my hand at a game that felt a little less intimidating. One of the games he already had was Wolf Among Us, which is a narrative-style murder mystery game based in a fairy tale-infused version of our world. This game is divided into chapters, and so here you will see me playing parts of chapters 1 and 2. It is a pretty dark storyline and a little bit gory, but not any more than any other fantasy story I might read. My reflexes are still not great, so I have died a couple of times. I died.
You can retry. What button's confusing you?
One of the things I really like about this game is that the choices you make throughout affect the story as you go. Right now, I've been making choices that I would make myself, like trying to be nice and less violent, but I was getting pretty into it at times. No, this is the wrong person. We don't need to fight him.
She's alive?
Maybe if I go back and play it again, I'll make some different choices.
What's up?
I stabbed him in the eye with my fingers. No.
I also really like the art style. And I'd be lying if I said I haven't developed a soft spot for the grumpy, hot, morally gray werewolf detective. One drawback is that the console I'm using is older, and so at times the game is a bit laggy, but that's okay. It's much more enjoyable than spending a bunch of money on a new console, a new game. That might come down the line, but for now, I'm happy with where I'm at.
Ooh, I earned a trophy!
I am finishing up my work day. Let me close that. And I have a little stream on, and I'm gonna do some sewing. For this year, I would like to not buy as much new clothes as possible. So either thrifting or making my own clothes. Now, thrifting is very fun for me. Online thrifting, in-person thrifting, love it. But in an effort to not spend as much money, I've told myself I cannot go thrifting again until I use the fabric I have that I bought with the intention of making clothes. I need to make at least 2 of the projects I've had in my head before I buy anything else. And so I have a pattern here that I traced from a pair of pants that I'd like to make. Let me grab the fabric. This has all been washed and dried and folded, but I might need to like lint roll it, but there we go. It kind of has this like yellow, it's a stripy kind of stretch fabric. It's got some yellow, orange, teal, and red in it. And I thought these would make a great pair of stretchy pants. And so I need to cut my fabric out. I need to do some sewing, some like scrap tests to see what the stitch length would work best. And then we'll get started. I'm hoping that this is going to be a very simple design, just 4 panels, 2 front, 2 back, sew the crotch, and then I'm going to cut out a band and put, I have some thick elastic that I want to put in the waistband. Seems straightforward in my head, but we shall see. Well, let's get started. The lighting is better now. The great part about stripy fabric is I can just follow the straight lines when cutting. I think I'm doing this right. It's all just an experiment, and I have plenty of fabric left over. Let's cut our fabric. Now we cut again. All my pieces are cut out. I need to flip them inside out. Luckily for this fabric, something I struggle with when I'm sewing, especially if the fabric is very similar on both sides, is that when it looks the same on both sides, I struggle to tell which side is the right side and which side is the wrong side. And thankfully for me, one side has the red, yellow, orange, teal side that I want, and then the other side is much more blue. It's like got a little bit of red, but then it's mostly like teal. So thankfully for me, it's very easy to tell which side is the right side. I traced these from a jumpsuit that I like how it fits on me. It's got really wide legs and it's made from a similar kind of stretchy jersey material. And I'm hoping that it looks good. Doing a Hail Mary here at the end, which is usually how my sewing projects have gone in the past. I actually kind of thought about this a lot. If I succeed at this, it's going to build my confidence, and I'm hoping that the next project I can do is a pullover, like a quarter zip, but with buttons, of this really nice, well, not really nice, it's from Joann's, but of this nice fleece fabric I got from Joann's, that's like fall colors, and it's like a plaid. It's very much not my normal color scheme, but I had a vision, like right before Thanksgiving, I was like, I have to have a sweater like this. And then I found fabric that was on sale, and this fabric is actually thrifted. I saw it at our local Goodwill, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna make with that. And then it came to me. The last couple of projects I've made have all been with thrifted fabric. So I'm kind of nervous to do a project with fabric I've like, you know, spent time like looking up and like picking out, because then it's like I actually spent like real money on it. Whereas this is like, oh, if it goes wrong, this fabric was already like partially used. There's less investment. I've made a couple of other things, and I love the way it makes me feel when I finish a sewing project, because it's just like, it feels like very accomplishing when you finish a project like that. Like, something I've learned how to do living up in the mountains also has been chopping wood and starting a fire in our wood stove. And those are all things where I'm like, I could be handy in a zombie apocalypse, you know? They just make me feel like a capable adult. Don't ask me to make a doctor's appointment though. I'm gonna move on to the testing portion of our video here. This sewing machine, as I manually thread the needle. The sewing machine is a piece I received from my grandparents' house when we were packing it up and clearing it out. And so I my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, was a great seamstress, and so she like would make everything. And so when I make stuff, I think of her. But also this sewing machine, I taught myself how to use it from YouTube videos. There's no manual that came in the bag. I'm just kind of winging it over here. I also have a dog bed under here, which is not the most helpful for having a sewing pedal. Ay, ay, ay. I always do this. First stitch and we're off to a great start. Okay, let's try this again. I think that worked. Let me try the other direction now. I'm gonna put a headphone in for some podcast, and I'm just gonna do up each side of the leg, not the crotch gusset area. So I have sewed each inseam or side seam, and then I have pinned the inner gusset crotch line. So you can't see that, but I'm gonna sew that now. And then I think I might, the original pants that I traced, or the bottoms of the jumpsuit, I should say, have darts or little pleats, like one on each side in the front to kind of make the waist smaller, because right now, because they're just pretty much just straight up, it's quite wide, and I'm not sure if I want the like gathered look of the elastic, so I might pleat the front and then make the waistband so that way it's a little less gathered. So this crotch line. Never thought I'd hear myself say that. And of course I didn't make this easy for myself by putting all of the pins on the same side. No, that would be ridiculous. We have pants! Ta-da! So I've sewed the darts and the pleats, and now I think I'm going to start working on the waistband, with getting this together first, sewing these sides. I think I'm going to sew all the way around, but leave a little space to feed this guy through. And then we can see how it fits before we sew the elastic in. The seams of the waistband to go where the seam of the leg is, not in the middle. So we're gonna line that up so that it looks correct. looking good. Now here's where we do this whole bit. Okay, today's the day. The pants are gonna get done. I just need to finish up the elastic and then hem the bottom, and then we can do a little try-on styling. Let's do this. I am wearing leggings underneath these, so the fit is a little funky right now, but the crotch feels okay. They're definitely a little bit long, but I'm gonna hem them, so that should take care of that. And I think that this waistband, I can make it a little bit tighter. I might do that. So that it's a little bit cinched. And it doesn't like just fall down on me randomly. Okay. And now we have to close it in, which I'll have to include. We'll just have to stretch this out. Let's see. I ended up making a couple mistakes that night because I was working late on it, so I had to stop and then put the finishing touches on it the next day. And voila, here are the pants. I just put together a simple outfit that I could see myself wearing with these pants. Because there's so many colors in the pattern, you can really pair them with a lot of different options. They are super comfy and are pretty easy to make, especially if you don't use as thick of a fabric or don't put in darts or pleats. I might repeat this style with a linen or canvas type fabric. And that brings us to the end of this video. If you have any hobbies that you're trying to learn or that you're trying to get more into, please share them. I think that I also want to get into crocheting. I bought a couple of supplies, so maybe that'll be something I explore in a future video. Again, thank you for spending time with me today, and I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.